Hello there, my name is Litéiler and it's a pleasure to join you here today. I'm consulting with an agency of the Korean Ministry of Health. It is called Korea Health Industry Development Institute, KHIDI. I and the team at KHIDI support Korean human health companies collaborate with corporations abroad. My background is pharmaceuticals and clinical trial software. My career has been with companies such as Novartis and GlaxoSmithKline, and I've worked both in Europe as well as in North America. My area of focus is within licensing partnerships, business development, and marketing strategy. I've been consulting with KHIDI for about 1 year now. Over this time, I've met many companies, including those focusing upon a wide range of products and services, including radiological products, dental products, consumer health, medical aesthetics, laboratory service providers, all the way through to pharmaceutical companies, both originators and generics, and of course bio-novel and biosimilar companies. What's impressive by all of these varied types of human health companies is that each and every one has a dedicated team that is highly educated and skilled in their own particular scientific discipline. Also, what's quite oftenly seen is the desire to achieve a positive outcome and the ability to deliver a focus around business work ethic. And this stands out amongst all Korean companies that I've met. My final point on this is about context, really. Some companies I've met have people within marketing, business development and licensing that have prior roles in these functions within the pharmaceuticals industry. Other companies have chosen to select people from other industries. What becomes important when agreements are being discussed is that the relevant stakeholders involved have the business breadth as well as the pharmaceutical depth to add value to the mission of the Korean pharmaceutical and biopharmaceutical company. So I guess some of the strengths I've mentioned already, but I'll go on to describe some key facts about Korean pharma and biopharma performance. And of course, it starts with clinical trial research. And I believe I'm right in saying that Seoul was ranked first or second in the world in terms of site trial numbers between the years 2013 and 2017. A number of Korean companies elect to partner out prior to commercialization. And looking back at 2019, we actually saw 14 key deals achieved, with some notable key performances. The largest disclosed deal was between Yuhan Corporation and Boehringer Ingelheim of Germany, with a mighty value of $1.53 billion US. And that was one of 2 deals that Yuhan Corporation closed during the year. And across the 12 deals that were disclosed in terms of deal values, the average value was a credible $603 million US. Of note also was Green Cross Corporation, who also managed to close 2 deals during that year, both of the values of which were undisclosed. If I also move on to in terms of export, 2018 global exports were over 11% higher than the prior year and neared $5 billion US in terms of global exports. Much of it was to Europe, with something in the order of 31%, and 32% of the $5 billion were exports through to Asia, which, as you're probably aware, has historically been the #1 trade destination for Korean exports. The final point I'd make is the sheer investment being made by the government of Korea and by private corporations. During 2018, there were some 110,000 high-quality Korean jobs created within pharmaceuticals, with an output of 6 new drugs developed in that year. The mission for 2025 is to create 170 100,000 high quality pharmaceutical and biopharmaceutical jobs with an output of 23 new medicines. I guess my key advice for Korean companies when they're attending partnering events like CPhI is probably three things. I think the first thing is to prepare well, and that involves making ready an effective and compelling story, and of course rehearsing actually what you're going to say. Create a strong narrative as to why your proposal should be considered above others. Secondly, when meeting with your potential partner, don't talk all the time. Of course, spend some time talking about your proposal, talking about the science, talking about the value to patients. Of course, do those things. But then actually, during the engagement, seek some feedback from the potential partner and perhaps have ready one or two questions that you want to ask of them. If you spend most of the time speaking to them, it's quite likely you won't necessarily get a sense of whether or not there's deep interest from the potential partner. And finally, point 3, after the event, seek feedback and follow up with the partners, particularly the ones where you feel that the good fit exists.